months. Joe Concha's with us. Joe, how are they going to manage this press conference? They have to manage it. I mean, will they try to line up the questions, know the questions in advance, load the prompter with the right answer? I think they have to do something like that, otherwise they're on dangerous territory.
Okay, let me tackle those questions one by one, Stu. I think we know how this is going to go. But between then and now, the president's handlers will compile a list of reporters not hostile but hospitable to the president. They will provide him that list, and he will read off those reporters one by one. Do I think they'll provide questions in advance? No, I do not. But I think the questions will be not as hostile as maybe we saw towards the previous president, right? Sure. And that reporter list, by the way, it rarely includes Fox News White House correspondent Peter Doocy, because, you know, we wouldn't want to make anybody uncomfortable with tough questions now, would we? Now, all that said, the president will use a teleprompter for a prepared statement or two before the presser. That's not uncommon. Other presidents have done it before. But when taking questions, he will have detailed notes on index cards provided to him, because that's what we've seen in the past. But I don't think he's going to have a teleprompter, because think about it. He has to look at the reporter asking the question. And if he's reading off of something, boy, that will be just a worldwide embarrassment if that happens. So no, logistically, that won't happen. They won't put him in that position. So he'll largely be on his own then. But fact checkers who largely have been on vacation for the past year, they better wake up, because as we've seen throughout this entire, not in just his presidency, but his adult life, Joe Biden is a person who is allergic to the truth, right? Whether it's plagiarism, whether it's all the times he's been arrested, which never happened, whether it's his claims on being a truck driver or voting sites in Georgia closing before people get off work, the guy lies. And it's why a recent CNN poll found that 66% of Americans think Mr. Biden is a leader they cannot trust. When you lose 2/3 of the country, boy, that's a huge problem. Whether you're a Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter, Stu.
But you've got to be aware of his demeanor. He's got to be sharp. Yeah. He can't lose his train of thought. He can't stumble very much, because that would look really, really bad. And there's no way the White House staff can manage that, is there?
No, you could clean it up all you want afterwards. But here we have a president, Stuart, that is at 33% approval in the latest Quinnipiac poll. Yeah. 1/3 of the country supports him. The guy got 81 million votes. Boy, that's quite a drop. So he needs to perform exceptionally well here. And as we've seen throughout his first year, he does not do well in situations when he has to have an extemporaneous thought. And he's got to defend how things are going on. Inflation, 40-year high. Crime, 16 cities reporting record homicide rates. The border, 2.2 million people coming into the country. That is basically triple the size of the population of Washington, D.C., or what happened in Afghanistan, or Democrats becoming the anti-education party. On every major front, he is way underwater and doesn't have the winning argument. So even if he does get somewhat friendly questions, I have a feeling this is not going to go well at all for this president, given that he is trying to defend the indefensible at this point.
It's absolutely must-see TV, as is Varney Co, in my personal opinion. And Joe, you know that today is our 12th anniversary edition of the program. You've been with us for many, many years. I don't know how many years, but it's at least 4 or 5. And in all those years, 5 years, can you pick out a memory, a memorable moment?
Oh, it's almost every interview that you do with me, because you end every one with, "You're all right, Joe." I love that. You know, I never get compliments from the wife. You're my wife now at this point in the compliment department. Yeah. Now, I remember you had a real throwdown with Juan Williams not too long ago, because I was on set and I had to witness it like awkwardly while I was waiting to go on. But I like the fact that this show, and it rates so well in the business, television world, because A, you speak to people as if you're having a conversation in a bar, instead of speaking down to them and using all these ridiculous terms that 90% of people, even watching a business network, are kind of fuzzy on. You bring it down to a very authentic level in a way that people can understand. So as far as remembering a moment, I remember the body of your work. And at this point, to watch this show, you get a little bit of everything. But most importantly, I don't get spoken down to. You're not pious. You're a regular guy. And that's why we may or may not run into each other in the same restaurant in a certain place in Jersey from time to time, because that's where my people go, and you're my people still.
Oh, man, I'm almost in tears. You're so nice. Joe, you are all right, and that is a fact. Tell your family. Okay? See you again soon.